We're on the air, Pops. What time is it?
It's Chomp time.
It is Chomp time indeed. I am Mike. That is Pops. This is the Chomp Time Podcast. This is episode 22.
Wow.
Which Pops actually made the title for this one. Episode 22 is titled, At Least the Game's at Noon.
There you go.
So I'm guessing you wanted that so we can get it over with earlier.
Yes, exactly right.
We are going to be breaking down the Florida Gators going to the Texas Longhorns football game.
Yeah.
Coming tomorrow. This is going to be broadcast on Friday. So tomorrow at 12 p.m. in Austin, Texas. Let's get right into it. We're going to be talking about Texas. We're going to talk about Florida. We're going to do some predictions.
All right.
Give us your breakdown or what you usually do, setting the table for Texas and their program.
The Texas Longhorns. Okay, this is our guessing game. You want to guess when it became a university?
1839.
Close. 1881.
That's not close. What are you talking about? That's
well, you were in the same century.
Well, okay, that's 42 years away. All right. 1881 established, all right?
All right. Austin, Texas.
Yep.
Got an enrollment of 52,000.
Okay.
Lots of different history about the Texas Longhorns. They have a rivalry game with Oklahoma called the Red River Shootout every year. It's a whole week of celebration, and they have the state fair there and the whole thing. So it's a big thing. They and Oklahoma joined the SEC this year officially. So was the first time we're playing Texas in the SEC. Couple things about the university itself. It is the home of the Lyndon Baines Johnson Presidential Library.
Sure it is.
Yes, it is. They have 1,400 acres of land surrounding this university.
Okay.
The stadium is named Darrell Royal Stadium, famous coach for the Texas Longhorns. It used to be called War Memorial Stadium.
Yeah.
And then in 2023, they named it the Darrell Royal Stadium.
Okay, so this is new. This is new.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It seats 100,019, and it's the 7th largest stadium in the country. Okay. They've had some mishaps. They've had some bad stuff happen there. Probably one of the most famous. I was only 18, but in 1968, they had a tower shooting where somebody went up into the tower at the university and 14 people were killed. They've had some other things happen there, but it's a pretty sad situation for that. But it is the largest state university in Texas. Famous alums. You ready?
Sure. Let's bring it on.
All right.
Oh, it's Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, you can always see him on the sidelines. He'll be on the sidelines for this game.
Of course.
Actor Eli Wallach.
Okay, Eli Wallach. He's back in the day.
Yes, he is.
He's in a lot of my crossword puzzles, but
okay.
What was he in?
Here's some current ones for you, okay?
All right.
Owen Wilson.
Yeah, okay.
Renee Zellweger.
Sure.
John Hamm.
John Hamm, never been a fan of him.
Okay.
He bothers me.
I love him in Mad Men. He was great in Mad Men.
He what?
He was great in Mad Men. He was
Mad Men?
Yeah, it was a series. It was terrific.
Was he in Top Gun Maverick, the new one? I think that's John Hamm.
I don't know. He made his name. He made his name by Mad Men, which is a whole thing. It was a whole series. It was really good. Farrah Fawcett.
You mean Mad Men?
And what did I say, man?
Yeah.
Sorry. Mad Men.
This episode is off to a flying start. Farrah Fawcett, she had the most popular pin-up poster for a while, a red bathing suit, Farrah Fawcett, sure.
Yeah. And I'll give you one more. The governor is Greg Abbott, the governor right now in Texas. He's a graduate. And one more person that you probably will know. Alan Ludden.
Alan Ludden. He was married to Betty White.
Correct. And his show was?
And he was a game show host.
Yes.
Password?
That is correct, sir. Okay.
Yeah, for a long, long time, the Game Show Network was my go-to station. I watched all the old match games, passwords.
Yeah.
I love the old Press Your Luck, the old Price is Right. I still stick with Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, but those are the only two game shows I watch now.
Okay. Athletes. They're they're bundled with athletes, and I'm only going to give you a few.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of them. Kevin Durant.
Sure.
Jordan Spieth.
Oh, Jordan Spieth's a Texas Longhorn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roger Clemens.
Ah, the Rocket.
Kyle Shanahan.
Kyle Shanahan. Did he play ball there?
No. Okay. Not that I know of.
All right.
Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
Colt McCoy.
Colt McCoy, yep.
And I'll give you the last one. Scotty Scheffler.
Scotty Scheffler is also a Texas guy. So Spieth and Scheffler. And they have, I want to say 7 or 8 at least NBA players.
Oh, it got to be ridiculous.
But I hate the NBA, so I refuse to acknowledge any of them. Anything else you want to say about Texas?
Well, I'll let you go through the stats. I will say this one stat. Well,
Spit it out, for Christ's sake.
They're the #1 team in the country on defense.
Yeah, they are. I noticed that right away. Texas, they're 7-1. They are 3-1 in the SEC. They have beat Colorado State. They won at Michigan, Texas San Antonio, Louisiana Monroe, Mississippi State. They beat Oklahoma 34-3. They lost to Georgia 30-15 at home. That was kind of a surprise. They barely beat Vandy at Vandy 27-24. Once again, proving that Vandy is for real.
Oh, they are. You remember I said that at the start of the season. They were loaded.
Yeah. And their head coach is Steve Sarkisian, Sark. He is 50 years old. When I saw he was only 50, I feel like he's been in the news for a while. He was the head coach. He's been an assistant coach all over the place. He was a head coach at Washington. He was 34-29 overall there. Then he went to USC, and he was 12-6 there. He had, I think it was an alcoholic problem, and he got fired from USC for that issue. But to his credit, he has gotten up off the mat, and I believe he is sober for years now and doing well at Texas. He got hired he was at Alabama working for Saban for a while.
Right.
And kind of got his credibility back.
Right.
And then Texas hired him. And he is 32-15 at Texas. This is his 4th year. His first year was 5-7. Then he was 8-5. Then last year he was 12-2. And this year he's 7-1. So he is rolling along. And I will say in every single episode, it's almost always about recruiting in college sports. And I have those numbers. His first year is kind of his transition year, becoming the head coach. In 2021, they were ranked 16th, according to Rivals. Then in 2022, his first real class, he was ranked 5th. 2023, they were 3rd. 2024, they were 3rd. And in 2025, they are currently ranked 6th. So they have them rolling along in recruiting, bringing all sorts of 5-stars in, including Arch Manning, who will probably be the Heisman front runner next year because he will be their starting quarterback. Their starting quarterback right now is Quinn Ewers, who's very good in his own respect. Isn't having a super year. He's got 14 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
Yeah.
With basically 1,400 yards. Arch has played a few games. Arch has thrown for 920 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. So his stats are very comparable to Ewers, even though Ewers is their starter. Yes, total offense. Texas is ranked 16th in the country. Total defense, they are ranked first,
They,
like
they
you
got
said.
they got a little stable of running backs, and this kid Wisner who's run for
Yeah,
409 yards, Jaden Blue's run for 316, and Jarrett Gibson who's run for 227. So they do
right.
have three really good running backs.
Yeah,
They're
all
all
averaging
averaging 4.5 yards a carry.
right or more.
Yeah,
I was surprised to see their leading receiver is a tight end.
yeah,
Their tight end Helm has 31 catches and 419 yards, and those are both leading the team. That was surprising to me.
yeah, yeah,
Wide receiver Isaiah Bond is probably their best receiver. He was in the running to come to Florida out of high school. He ended up committing and signing with Alabama and then transferred after Saban left to Texas. He's their leading receiver. But yeah, the number that jumps out to me is first in total defense. They only allow 241 yards per game total.
yeah,
Total.
yeah,
They only allow 135 yards passing per game, which I believe is first in the country, and they allow only 105 yards rushing per game, which is top 15 or something like that. So this is on the road.
yeah. 100,000 people.
There will be 100,000 people.
Yeah,
It's the first SEC matchup between Texas and Florida. Florida's a
yeah,
blue blood SEC, so they will be loud and proud in Texas. They are favored, the Texas Longhorns, by 21 and a half points as of right now. And the over-under is 47 and a half. So
yeah.
put those numbers together. The books are saying Texas is going to win this game roughly 34-13, which I could certainly see happening. Now, the big question mark, as of Thursday, we're recording this on Thursday, is will DJ Lagway play?
Well, the good news is the initial report that came out on Monday was it wasn't as bad as everybody thought it was, which
Correct.
was great. That's great. Personally, I know he's from Texas, and
Yep.
I personally would like him to sit down for one game. I would like
Yep.
him because we got three other games after that, and I like to have him there. I would feel really bad playing against the number one defense in the country, and this guy's not 100%. So to me, if I was a head coach, I don't care if he's 85, 90%. He ain't playing, okay? Because I want to save this kid from himself. Because all these kids think they're invincible. Even NFL pros think they're invincible. They can go out and play. I think the smart move is just let him sit down. You know what?
Well,
The 21 and a half points, it's justified. Just like last week, it was 16 and we ended up giving two quick touchdowns at the end.
yeah.
So they almost made the nut. But here's the thing. We're not beating Texas. I'm sorry. We're not. Okay? So let's not get this kid get further injured. That's my thing.
All right. Well, a few
And with
things on
that,
that. On that respect, let me. What do you got? Some scotch? Is that scotch today?
and I'll
Hey,
tell
by
you
the
why
way.
later. I'll tell you why later.
Oh, all right.
It's
And by
5
the way,
o'clock somewhere.
that. Okay, Buffett. All right, Parrot Head. That water you had in the last couple of episodes. Is there a? Are you have a koozie for the water? Is that what you're using?
I did.
Am I look? Okay. Just checking. You're officially a
And the
Southerner.
reason for it is not to keep it cold. The reason is if you drink bottled waters, these little 16.9 bottled water, they don't stand up anymore. They're on the angles. They're falling all over the place. So I put it inside there to keep it straight.
All right.
That's the
All
reason
right.
for it.
Are you going to give me the reason for scotch later on in the episode?
I will.
Okay. So, just to piggyback on what you just said, you are not the coach. You are not.
Yeah.
Now, the news I just recently heard minutes before getting on the air is that Florida came out and said that Billy Napier is going to be our coach next year.
That's
for
why I'm drinking the
2025.
scotch. That's why I'm drinking the scotch.
So, sorry for bursting the teaser bubble. So, yes, I don't know that is set in stone, but it's something you say about a coach as an AD when he's on the hot seat, but recruiting is right around the corner. So you want to assure the guys that are on the fence or the guys that have committed that the coach you committed to is going to be your coach next year. I actually believe that he will be the coach next year.
If you read the statement from the athletic, I read the statement from the athletic director. It was a basically vote of confidence saying, it's been a crazy year. Things happen. Injuries are abounding through us. We've lost 2 quarterbacks, and we played our hearts out against a top-rated team last week. And
that's fine. What was the exact wording? We expect him to be our coach next year? What was the wording?
Yeah, that's kind of what it was.
So I'm not sure that that's set in stone, but let's say that it is. If it is set in stone, then I agree with you that we shouldn't play DJ Lagway in this game. He would be playing him if he had not had that vote of confidence, that kind of approval for next year.
I disagree. I don't. The one thing I know about this guy that I've done research and all this thing is he is a player's kind of guy, okay? Yeah. And I don't think he's going to put anybody out there that has any chance that he could re-injure himself. It doesn't make any sense. And this guy, for all the things we don't like about him, the players love this guy, and I think that's one of the reasons that he watches out for him. So I give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, it appears that he's a player's coach, and I really do like coaches that say, if there's a chance of making this guy worse or putting him in harm's way, other than just a football player playing football is in harm's way just naturally. Yeah. But if you add injury, I really like coaches that err to the side of caution in that manner. So, cheers, kudos to him for that.
Listen, we have this game. We have LSU, we have Ole Miss, and we got Florida State. It's funny, Florida State, you were talking about that Texas averages 241 yards of defense. I mean, they allow 241 yards. Do you know it's been 6 straight games for our friends up north that have not hit 300 yards total offense?
Florida State is
they are a disaster. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the deal: between Texas, Ole Miss, LSU, if we can find a way to win one game, we're going to beat FSU. If nothing else, we can at least say this season, with all the problems, the schedule, the losing of players, we still were bowl eligible. That would be a huge something. Now listen, I know it's 6-6. That's the best we can hope for. But at this point, for everything that's happened to us this year, I would take it.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to be happy with it, but yes, I would take it.
Nobody's happy with it.
Well, right. But again, if that's what we're aiming for, we shouldn't play him in Texas because there's no way he's 100%.
There's no way we're beating Texas, period.
We shall see. Our defense has been playing ridiculous lights out, and they barely beat Vanderbilt. They lost to a Georgia team that we could have beat. Is it possible? Yes. Is it probable? Absolutely not. We are probably not beating them. To which I would say, is it going to make a difference if we play DJ in this game or if we hold him out? If we hold him out of this game and there's a significant chance that he's much more equipped to play the rest of the year, yes, let's hold him out because I do want to try and win 2 out of the last 3 and make a bowl game.
All right. So here's what I think, and I'm agreeing with you. I just think, especially in college, let's not. This is not. I know the coaches have large contracts. They have to win to keep the contracts, not to get fired, and all this other good stuff. But these are still young kids. They're still young kids, and I don't want to hurt their future by playing somebody that's not 100%. I really believe that. If you're in the pros and you're getting paid millions of dollars, yeah, play hurt a little bit. If you're 80%, play hurt a little bit. But this is college. It's a different ball game. They have their futures.
Just hold on. Hold your wad there. Guys like DJ Lagway are getting paid a lot of money. There's no guarantee he is going to be drafted high. He's getting paid a lot of money.
I agree.
Football,
but the potential for him.
That's fine. But football is one of the most violent sports out there.
What's the most important position in a football team?
That's fine. But if you don't play
what's the most important position?
Quarterback is the most important position.
All right.
But
if he's not 100%, let's not play him.
It's irrelevant to what I'm saying. This is week 9. What are we? 4 and 4. So this is week 9.
Yeah.
In week 9 of a football season, no matter what level you're talking about, and especially in SEC, you don't have one single player that is 100% in football.
Agreed.
Yes. So if you're wanting to only play guys that are 100%, you wouldn't be able to field a team.
No, but there's a difference depending on what's hurting. If this guy's got a hamstring problem and he's playing quarterback, not a good idea. It's not a good idea. He can't move.
But even dipshit Billy Napier said himself, which I can't believe I'm going to agree with, as a quarterback, yes, he's a running quarterback, but he doesn't have to be a running quarterback. If you're a running back, if you're a receiver, if you're a defensive back, if you're a linebacker, you cannot play with a hamstring. As a quarterback, you can, because you don't have to run. You can design plays, flanker screens. We know how to run those.
Okay, but he's going to be running for his life.
Maybe.
This is the #1 defense in the country.
Maybe. Or you design a game.
We'll agree to disagree. I wouldn't play him.
Fine, you wouldn't play him, but quarterback is one of the few positions you can play with a hamstring injury. I'm just telling you can. Final thoughts before we talk about other things here. Texas is 65th in the nation in rushing yards per game. 158 yards per game.
Yeah.
They're ranked much higher than that in passing yards per game, which is right around 300 yards per game. They're going to throw the ball up and down the field on us because, as you have probably seen, our injury list is out.
It is.
And we don't have Jason Marshall. We don't have Devin Moore. A couple other guys are hurt. I mean, we're going to be playing very inexperienced guys in the defensive backfield.
Well, let me just tell you how we're going to do this and this is the only time I agree with this, because you know how I like to play defense. In this game, because we're down about 5 defensive backs, safeties, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
We have no choice but to play zone. We have no choice. We cannot play man-to-man against this team. So we're going to have to play zone. So basically what's going to happen is it's the bend, don't break. And that's what we're going to have to hope for, because there's no way we can play this team man-to-man. We just don't have the horses right now.
Right. And so what I think you and I are kind of agreeing now, as opposed to that last disagreement we just had, that we will probably have to go against what we like to do normally if we're relatively healthy, which is we've been begging for pace and no huddle and tempo. Yeah. I don't think we do that in this game.
Nope.
I do think we play the zone. I think we try and run the ball as much as we can. I don't want us hurrying up to the line. I want us shortening the game as much as we can to try and win this game 20-17 or 17-13, or even like a 13-10 game is the only chance we have to beat them.
Well, we don't know who the quarterback's going to be, and if it's not DJ, then we're in trouble. But the thing is, we're also missing. It looks like Badger is hurt, and he's a maybe if he shows up. So we're down receivers. I mean, it's Wilson's done, so it's kind of like it's and then Montrell is not. It's a maybe Montrell will play. So we're between really a large rock, and a hard place. I mean, it's not good. So this is the other reason I really don't want to play DJ. Is you don't have your #1 running back. You don't have your best or top receiver. They're going to be keying in on DK, and I mean, we'll be throwing to the tight ends all game long, and pretty soon they'll double those guys. I mean, it's not a good scenario, and which is why I want the game at noon. Let's just get it over with because it's not going to be pretty. And I don't understand, and I've been trying. I looked all week to try to find an answer. I don't understand why we don't play a quarterback that had a full year at Washington State as a starter. I don't understand it. He doesn't explain why. Warner seems like a good kid, a smart kid, but but I'd rather have a guy that's had a full season of taking snaps and playing against some good competition, rather than a guy from Yale.
Yeah. I don't. I think that Billy is actually conducting a little bit of gamesmanship.
Could be.
Personally, I don't think
I got to drink, man, because this is going to be a bad game.
Yeah. I don't think DJ is going to play, and even if he does, he's a sitting duck back there. Whoever quarterback we have, I would love to see. I think he likes Warner. I said this in a previous episode because of his brain and Billy's offense, which I don't like with all the shifting and the motion and there's so much going on pre-snap that he's trying to get all this information, I think, for himself and maybe for the quarterback, but it doesn't really necessarily translate to post-snap because it's just not the way it works anymore. I just think there's way too much shifting, way too much motion, deception, and they fake the end around 10 times a game. If you never run the end around, why would they ever, go for the fake? So, but that's why I think he likes Warner, because Warner's it seems to have a handle on all that. He knows where they're supposed to start, where they're supposed to finish, who's supposed to go in motion when. He's got his eye on the play clock. That's all pre-snap.
Do you know the good news about the Texas game, after the Texas game?
We don't have to play them for a year?
We got 2 home games in a row.
Yeah. Let's get right into the prediction. I think they're going to, before the prediction, I want to say this. I would love to see Billy come out in the Wildcat for the first 2 series. If you're not playing DJ, let's say you're not playing DJ. I would love to see him come out in the Wildcat for the first 2 series, regardless of the results, just to throw a monkey wrench, just for a little creativity.
I would like to see the Wildcat, but I'd like to see him throw a pass out of the Wildcat.
Whatever, just something that we haven't done. He is well into his 3rd year.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah, just do something different.
Yeah.
And it probably won't work.
But well, let me give you my score.
Yeah, go ahead.
Texas 35, Gators 10.
We are very close. I have Texas 41, Gators 10.
All right.
This is how low the bar has been set at Florida with Napier, and now you throw in injuries as well. But the bar has been set so low by Napier at Florida. I will be happy if Florida scores any points.
Yeah, we want to keep
any way.
We need to keep that streak going.
Or fashion. We are going against the number 1 team defensively in the country that does not allow people to throw or run.
Yeah.
We have probably 10 starters hurt that are not going to play. We are down to our 3rd string quarterback, our 3rd and 4th string running backs, although they look great. I will be thrilled if we score, which makes me ill to think about as a Florida Gator fan with recent national success of Heisman trophies and national titles and SEC titles. I just want us to score because that's the last thing that we have going as far as a positive streak goes. We have not been shut out since like 1986. We said this before.
Yeah.
I am hoping that we score, Pops. And that is yet another reason why you are drinking. We've got a coach that very likely could be the 3rd year in as many years as our head coach under 500, and he has been promised another year.
Well,
Now,
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. In what universe are we living, especially at the University of Florida?
yeah.
Do we give a vote of confidence to a guy who's going to lead us to 3 straight below 500 seasons?
And I'm going to tell you right now, we're just about to end the episode, but the last thing I wanted to say that I've been putting off this entire episode. Yeah, he got the vote of confidence. But I'm going to tell you right now, if we lose the last 4 games,
Yeah,
or if DJ transfers, he's not getting another year.
No.
Absolutely. I think that he is tied specifically to DJ Lagway. Most people can see that DJ Lagway is different. I think he's a guy that comes around once every 10 years, maybe once every 20 years. That remains to be seen. If he comes out and says, I'm coming back to Florida, that will bring in some recruits.
Right.
And we won't finish 60th. I'm hoping that we finish 25th, but which once again is showing how low the bar has been set by this asshole. But if DJ's gone, this guy is not getting another year. If we get blown out the last 4 games, including Florida State, he will not get another year, and DJ probably won't be back regardless.
Well,
we shall see.
Let's put it this way. Forget about the next 3 games. If he gets beat by Florida State,
Yeah.
get out of here. Get out.
The way that Florida State has been looking this year, we need that. He needs that win. If we lose the next 3 and DJ's still saying he's coming back, that win will assure him, DJ and the Florida State win will assure him another year probably. But we shall see. Pops, we are overtime. Let people get back to their regular lives. This was the Chomp Time Podcast. I am Mike. That is Pops. This was episode 22, which we called At Least the Games at Noon, which is partly why Pops is drinking. Also, the vote of confidence for Billy Napier getting another year is why Pops is drinking. It could get ugly this Saturday. Come on, Gators!
Get up and go. Go Gators.
Take care, everybody.